Welcome to Coin Explorer. The 1974 Washington quarter is interesting not because every example is rare, but because it represents an important stage in the modern history of American coinage. This is a copper-nickel-clad quarter from an era when the United States had already ended regular silver quarter production. The coin shown here matches the 1974 Washington quarter design, and its apparent lack of a mint mark points toward Philadelphia, although a photograph alone cannot certify every attribution detail. On the obverse, the coin carries John Flanagan's portrait of George Washington facing left. Liberty curves across the upper rim, while In God We Trust appears beside Washington's portrait, and the date 1974 is positioned below. On this photographed example, the major design elements are clearly visible, but wear has softened some of the lettering and surface detail. That distinction matters because condition, not simply the age of the date, plays a major role in collector interest. The reverse presents the familiar American eagle, with its wings spread and its talons gripping a bundle of arrows. Two olive branches frame the lower portion, while United States of America surrounds the upper rim. E pluribus unum appears above the eagle, and quarter dollar is below. The reverse design had been used on Washington quarters for decades, so the 1974 issue is best understood as part of an established series rather than a special commemorative coin. The physical specifications are straightforward. A standard 1974 circulation strike Washington quarter measures about 24.3 millimeters across and weighs 5.67 grams. Its edge is reeded, and its metal is copper-nickel clad, an outer layer containing 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper center. This construction replaced the 90% silver composition used for Washington quarters through 1964, making the 1974 quarter distinctly different from older silver issues. The production story becomes especially useful when examining the mint mark. Philadelphia struck 801,456,000 regular 1974 quarters, while Denver produced 353,160,300. Philadelphia coins from this period normally carry no mint mark, whereas Denver examples have a small D below Washington's neck. The photograph appears to show no mint mark, so it is consistent with a Philadelphia issue. Still, identification should be confirmed from the original coin under good lighting before assigning a mint origin. That large Philadelphia mintage also explains why a normal 1974 quarter should not automatically be described as scarce. Millions were produced for everyday commerce, and many survived. PCGS classifies the regular Philadelphia issue as common in the broad sense, while noting that very high-grade pieces become considerably harder to find. In other words, scarcity can emerge from condition even when the date itself was produced in enormous numbers. There is another important 1974 issue to know about: the San Francisco Proof Quarter. It was made for collectors rather than ordinary circulation and carries an S mint mark. The regular 1974 S proof had a mintage of 2,612,568, and proof examples can also appear with cameo or deep cameo designations. A proof is not simply a nicer circulated coin, it is a specially manufactured collector issue, so it should be identified separately from the coin shown here. For the photographed coin, the visible wear suggests it is not a pristine mint state example. The cheek, hair, lettering, eagle, and other raised areas should be examined for friction, contact marks, scratches, and loss of original luster. Collectors also look at whether the fields remain clean and whether the coin has been cleaned or otherwise altered. A numerical grade cannot be assigned reliably from one photograph, and professional grading requires direct examination of the coin. Varieties and minting errors require a different approach from ordinary wear. A genuine doubled die, off-center strike, clipped planchet, wrong planchet, missing design element, or other recognized mint error must show characteristics consistent with the manufacturing process. Damage from circulation, polishing, scraping, corrosion, or an accidental alteration is not automatically an error. For that reason, Unusual appearance should be treated as a question to investigate, not proof that the coin is in error. Value is where careful identification becomes essential. A normal circulated 1974 Philadelphia quarter is generally worth its 25-cent face value in ordinary commerce. Collector market prices can rise for attractive uncirculated coins, especially when they receive strong grades from a respected grading service. PCGS records an auction result of $2,115 for an exceptional 1974 Philadelphia quarter graded MS67+. But that result represents a very high-grade certified coin and should never be used as the value of an ordinary example. The same principle applies to the Denver issue. NGC's July 2026 guide lists circulated 1974 D quarters around 30 to 85 cents, depending on grade, while higher-grade examples can bring substantially more. PCGS records several MS67 Denver sales, including results well above typical face value. Those transactions illustrate how condition can change the market, not how much every 1974 D quarter is worth. Mint mark, preservation, certification, and actual buyer demand all matter. The Philadelphia coin also shows why certified grades can create large price differences. PCGS currently records a 1974 PMS67 example with a guide value of $260, while individual auction results have varied considerably. The important point is that MS67 is an exceptionally high grade relative to ordinary circulated pieces. A quarter with visible wear should not be compared directly with a certified MS67 or MS67 Plus coin when estimating its market value. If you are examining a 1974 quarter, start with the basics. Confirm the date, inspect the area beneath Washington's neck for a mint mark, and compare both sides for signs of damage or unusual striking characteristics. Then assess wear on the highest points and look for original luster in the protected fields. Do not clean the coin to improve its appearance. Cleaning can leave permanent hairlines and may reduce collector appeal or complicate professional grading. It is also useful to weigh and measure a suspicious example, but those tests are supporting evidence rather than automatic authentication. A standard 1974 clad quarter should be close to 5.67 grams and 24.3 millimeters, although normal tolerances and measurement conditions exist. If the weight, diameter, edge, or metal appearance seems significantly wrong, the coin deserves closer examination. A recognized authentication or grading service can provide a much stronger conclusion than a photograph or casual comparison. The 1974 Washington quarter is therefore best appreciated as a well-documented modern United States coin, whose value depends heavily on what individual example you actually have. The pictured coin appears consistent with a 1974 Philadelphia clad quarter, but the image cannot establish a precise grade or prove an error. For most circulated examples, face value is the realistic starting point. Collectors should focus on mint mark, preservation, genuine varieties or errors, and credible market evidence rather than age alone.